Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. It's another reading. Pardon my energy today. It's a little off. There's just been some stuff going on. Not me personally, but someone who's dear to me. So, anyways, I did the reading as best as I could. This one's particularly about someone's chart. It's a medical astrology thing, but I'm using asteroids as well. It is a chart that doesn't seem like it's too, busy. It's like a normal chart, the person chart, but from medical astrology perspective, it looks kind of like there's not. But then the sun is there, strong in their chart for this one. So, so I added asteroids for this one, and there was a lot of asteroids I actually worked with today. It's like about 16, maybe a lot. So, I mean, in terms of like this particular reading itself. So anyways, for those who are new to my channel, welcome, thank you. When a lot of things are heavy, you can't suppress it, and you can't suppress the emotions. You go through it, and you surrender to it. But this is tied to things we're going through, and it's totally okay. I allow myself this moments themselves to process these things, but it's not really me anyway. It's not directly me, but anyways, so I'm doing my best I did my best for the reading, so we'll see how you like it. Let me know if you have any questions, but I hope you have fun. Again, for those who are new to my channel, sorry, welcome. My name is Jose. I specialize in what I like to coin as micro-astrology, so I work with over 180 asteroids. Not all the time, not in one sitting, but I work with a lot of them. So it depends on what the questions are, depends on what the sitter or client is looking for. And that's it. So yeah, for this reading, it's very interesting. I got to go through a lot of stuff, things that are common. There's themes going that were repeating themselves. So I hope you enjoy this reading. Thank you for being here as well. I'll see you at the other end. It's recording now. Thank you for
Okay,
all
thank you.
this. Yes. Have you ever had a reading done for you before? Astrology reading or any kind
No, not at all.
of? Okay.
No.
So, depending on the astrologer and their experience, what might happen is sometimes it goes into detail, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of like any reading, basically. It's like,
Right.
right? But unlike any psychic or mediumship or child reading, especially if it's psychic, sometimes, especially if you're in a circle, right, you don't know who it's for. So, but with astrology, it's more direct. So it's kind of expected to be a little bit more precise.
Right.
But again, here's the other thing too, that as Pam Gregory puts it, an astrologer, she says, astrology is the language of probability. So anything and everything I say, it means it taps into all the quantum fields of infinite possibilities. So I'll try to narrow it down. We see what we can fit in like about an hour. Okay, within an hour, hopefully. I'm gonna try my best. Okay. So your main question was whether it's if there's an actual issue. You said if there's an actual issue or something like that.
Well, so I've been having like severe. Okay, so
What,
I've had.
headaches?
Well, no,
No.
just health anxiety.
Ah,
Um,
that's right. You did say that. Okay.
yeah, but I'm healthy, like accordingly. According to the doctors and everything, but it won't go away. And at some point, is it intuition? You know, is it just anxiety? I, but I'm ready to release it. I want
Okay.
to release it and move on.
Okay. So you,
But I also think it's trauma related.
yeah, I can see why. So I see
Yeah.
here right away in your own birth chart. I'm going to share with you this screen actually, just for the sake of the reading itself. I'm going to share. one window here. Okay. Okay. So in this one, it's showing me right away. It's showing me that because technically there's not a huge, a lot of, there's not a lot of issues, so to speak, with health in terms of like if we were to look at it from purely a medical astrology perspective. However, because the sun is in your eighth house, and it's usually with Taurus, what that usually signifies there tends to be some sort of slow dragging sort of like I don't know if it's metabolic because it's tied. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna cheat here. By the way, I forgot to mention
Oh,
I'm still kind of new to medical astrology, which is thank you for this as well. Um, so Taurus is usually tied. It's connected to Scorpio, and it's about the excretory system, but also the reproductive system. So that means that there's something that's being held within your body. There's Do you do a lot of toxic release, like physical release toxins, removal of toxins?
I've just started trying to be more clean
Okay.
as far as, but I haven't done any, I don't know the right, um, I don't know the right route to go. So I really
Huh.
do fasting more so than I
Uh-huh.
do any type of cleansing, stuff like that. So
Okay.
just because I can fast easier than I can follow all those regimens
Yeah,
sometimes.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because everybody's body is different. Literally every person,
Yeah.
even between
Yeah.
twins. Totally understandable. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Because what I see here is that it's something to do with all that. Um, on a more subconscious, or sorry, a more, how can I call this, a psychological level, or probably energetic, but on a also karmic level, what's happening here is because the sun often rules vitality. It's about your overall health, like what gives you energy, and it's because it's kind of tied to the heart. Well, it is tied to the heart and also the lower back. It rules the sign of Leo. But because it's in Taurus, it's tied more to the areas that are concerned with Taurus. Taurus is usually tied to the ear, nose, and throat. Um, so anything to do with sort of your perceiving that kind of stuff, right? It's also the eighth house, which is usually about it's Scorpio. So it's you have two houses here that are opposite of each other that have to do with the signs themselves also opposite of each other. So there's correlation between what you need to get out of your system and what you put in, but also I guess the cycle of the reproduction in your body. So plus with Pluto in retrograde here is showing me that the toxins are kind of stuck, or they can be stuck if they're not released. However, as you progress through life, usually that changes over time. However, we are looking at medical astrology, and I've been learning that when it comes to medical astrology, we don't consider so much of the progressions. If you see here, you see these green ones here. Not that these are important right now, but I'm just saying it's showing me that it's how much you. Well, these are not progressions actually; these are transits. What's happening right now? So, how long have you been? You know what? I'm just gonna ask you. Let's see here. So, when I go into about what is that? 16, 15 degrees Aries. Let's take a look. I feel like it's this year. Sorry, what am you're probably wondering what am I doing? um,
Oh, this is all of it is like crazy to me.
I
I have
I know. Sorry. Okay,
no,
so
it's wonderful. Mm.
all right, thank you. So what I'm seeing here is that I feel like you've been. Has it been about several years now? I feel like it's since 2023 you've been feeling immune system related changes.
Well, I think that's the anxiety
Yeah.
has been very intense since then. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I feel like it is tied to that one. It's showing me Chiron here has entered your, even a little bit before 2023, got into um, yeah, Aries in this degree right here. Well, we're just talking about the numbers. Forget what I just say. When I get all
Hmm.
technical, just kind of let it pass. So it's showing me that that's happening. But and because Chiron is retrograde right now, there's going to be some sort of like it feels like it's going to affect your body even more. But here's the thing about Chiron. Chiron usually represents the immune system. Are you taking anything for your immune system?
Uh, I just started taking this green drink. It's got a bunch of folic acid and vitamin C and things of that nature. It's supposed to support gut health and immunity, and
Uh, so is it
so. But that's not the only thing.
okay? Is it full? Is it a lot? Is it multivitamin kind of ish? Like there's not just one vitamin or a few, or like literally as much as you can?
No, it's called like Simple Eight. So it's got like eight simple things in it. But I haven't ventured into any because if you talk to a doctor, like some doctors will tell you to take. I've had doctors tell me not to take vitamins. Um,
Okay.
that yeah. So it's very conflicting.
Are they saying
Um,
okay? Are they saying that you don't take vitamins because I mean we know about the big pharma, conspiracy and how the pharmacies.
well,
Yeah.
I think he just thinks that you should your body and your food should do that.
Okay then. Okay, that's actually that's good advice actually. So something more natural. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have access to a lot of fruits and vegetables?
Uh, it depends. You know, like it's we have access to it. It's just the kids will eat it up. You know,
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot.
Okay. Why not?
Well,
Actually, I know why
so
you don't, but can
part of it is like fear
mm,
of the foods and
yeah,
things that are put into it
yeah.
and stuff of that nature. And um, I don't know.
That totally makes sense here. I see usually moon and people with moon and Gemini tend to snack, right? So, um,
Yeah, I'm way more of a yeah, snack
snacker. Okay.
person.
And it's actually your because your moon here shows square your ascendant, and ascendant is the house we look in medical astrology where we're talking about the whole body, how it affects your system. Being square there shows me that it's like ah. Plus, it also affects your nervous system. Your nervous system, it feels like because of that, I would say that placement. It's showing me that there's with your Virgo and ascendant also means that you tend to embody like you kind of worry about getting diseases, right? It's kind of part of how your body operates. It's actually tied to your past life. So it's showing me that you in your past life, but at the same time, hereditary things from your family that you kind of carry that through. And it's what's happening is there's a lot of like boundaries set when it comes to your health and your body, right? So, and I think one of the keys here would be to really. I know that you're doing fasting already. That's wonderful, actually. But are you doing it every now and then, like intermittent fasting kind of thing?
Well, I okay, so I do my fasting, in different times, but I'm usually still more of just a one meal a day type person.
Okay, I do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but then I will do fasting periods.
Okay. Yeah, the thing about, because a lot of it is tied to, let's see, I want to make sure I give you the right information as much as I can. Again, I'm trying my best here. So I appreciate your patience, and I know you're patient.
Oh.
Uh, okay. Okay, here we go. You'll definitely live for a long time. That's usually what they say here. Um, yeah. So here's the thing. It because of the burning effect of what you call here life force. It burns slowly.
Mhm.
Um, so you're prone to what they call here chronic conditions later in life due to tendency to overeating of rich and sweet foods, which I believe you've probably most likely changed. Um, yeah, see, torrent. Yeah, I need it hold toxins in the body. Okay. Um, let's see here. I think I don't need to tell you what you've already kind of gone through. A lot of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna list them here. Okay. So it says goiter, hypothyroid, quinsy, gout, toxemia from gormandizing. I don't know what that means. Throat colds, deafness, ear infections, excess mucus in ear, nose, throat, gorging, congested colon, tonsillitis, vocal cord afflictions, dental issues, problems of the esophagus. Not all apply. Maybe it's only a few. I'm just reading what it says here for that. Um, because that's where your sun is placed. It's in the eighth house here, showing me that that's what's happening. We also have the moon here. So what happens with the moon? It tends to be about um, it it's like the sun. It distributes life force. It means that um, it's kind of like let me say something about sensitivity to light, temperature, and fluidic changes. It says here describes the sign describes how successfully you adapt to change or level of moisture. Yeah. So do you drink a lot of water or no?
I've started to.
Okay. And how does that make any difference?
Um, it has. It has.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Have you heard of the have you heard of these machines that clean the water and then remineralizes it? And it
The Kangen water.
yes. Oh, that's awesome. You
Yes.
have that?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
So I would love to have it. I have access to it at $5 a gallon, but
Oh.
um,
Okay.
yeah. So
Sure.
I don't get to use it all the time. I try to drink at least pH balanced,
Okay.
water,
Yeah.
but or mineral spring water.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So I trust Kangen water. It tastes so good. It's like. Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I don't get to drink it that often as much as I should technically because I don't have a machine. My parents did, and then they left, and then something else happened. It's a long story. Let's see here. So I'm gonna look into the herbs here. Have you? I don't know if herbs will help. I mean, these are herbs, and they could just be placebo, but I'm gonna read them just in case. Okay. When it comes
Okay.
to the heart, because I feel like what I'm seeing here with hold on, Taurus. I'm gonna look at Venus. Where's Venus? Sorry, we just had it here. Hmm. So you also have tendency to have like um. Do you still sometimes get headaches?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. It's okay. So the sun here is trine to Neptune. Usually it signifies disillusion. Oh, it's retrograde though. I feel like your sun has a lot to do with the and the growing up, how you were raised, particularly like your relationship with your father. Um, there's something to do with that because I feel like we're talking about the eighth house here, and usually that's also psychological health. So I feel like I should mention Neptune here because Neptune often represents disillusion or magic, alchemy, or is it kind of alchemy? Illusions, delusions, addictions. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, definitely had that.
okay. So if it's something to do with the fourth house, which is technically like ancestrally related, there's something about the bones. Something about, I don't know, in this case, bones and skin, the knees, weak bones kind of stuff. I feel like it's almost like there's something about the escapist nature of what you grew up in your households. Plus with what is it here? Oh yeah, it's retrograde. You have Uranus retrograde conjunct Uranus here into Sagittarius. Again, ignore the terminologies there. It's showing me that there's something about the lower back sciatica nerve, legs, thighs area that your family kind of it's in conflict with your whole body. There's something about that. So I feel like it's really tied to working with the adjusting to what feels unsettling, what feels like changes, or kind of Taurus doesn't like changes. Um,
Right.
Especially with in the eighth house, it feels like you are even like you have a lot of like very strong like I must have it this way energy.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but I feel like a lot of it is tied to you should you actually not should I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but kind of ease your way into a little bit more flexibility. Not that you haven't. You do have your moon in Gemini, so you do have that flexibility about you. But those are you tend to be flexible usually when it comes to when it comes to your needs, your basic needs like food itself, um, security, safety, that kind of stuff. You kind of adapt to it because you have to, right? Um, let's see here. Your okay. Aquarius rules your sixth house. Aries rules your eighth house. So there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of ties to inflammation. Do you? I feel like because I'm not looking at the asteroids right now. I'm not cheating. Usually I use the asteroids to
Mhm.
cheat. Have you encountered a lot of inflammation throughout your life? Your sun rules your 12th house here because the sun rules Leo and blah, 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 blah. So,
So, to be honest, I am like, I've never really had any health issues other than
mm,
addiction and, the mental stuff that comes with addiction.
okay,
And,
it's more psychological. Okay,
and then, yeah, like, so, um, as far as anything of that nature, like I have recently, my lab work was a little off for my heart, basically predisposed for some heart disease.
okay,
Um, but I'm going to the cardiologist. The doctor wants to ease my mind. Um, but honestly, I've really always been healthy.
okay.
Uh,
That's nice.
Part of my anxiety, I think, is trauma, and part of it is I don't know how somebody does what they've done to what I've done to my body and stays healthy.
Yeah,
It's like I'm cramming for the test now.
yeah. It
Like,
catches up with you. Yes. Yeah.
yes. So and so I have fear.
Okay. I can
And then I
understand
got
that.
pregnant with my tubes tied, so now I have little kids.
Ah. So I think how much nervous system regulation do you do?
I never have. I need to.
Okay. So I think you should start. And maybe this will be something that is very uncomfortable for Taurus. But take a look at the Wim Hof method because
The what?
Wim Hof method. WIM is
Mhm.
his first name. HOF
Okay.
method. Just do extensive research on that one before you start. You do have that
Okay.
tenacity about you, your past life. You have South Node in Scorpio. I know you can do it. So that's not a problem. So look up what he does. He talks about how it affects the whole method is kind of a three-part method. You got the breathing method, you got cold therapy, and then commitment. Once you start and make
Okay.
it into a habit, what will happen is most likely you'll start to regulate the immune system. Plus, because of the breathing, his breathing is very similar to kind of like regular breathing, sort of like into your nose, out your mouth, but there's a holding portion. And then what that does is you have access to, I don't know if you know about DMT, which is good technically for meditation. pH level goes up, the blood. But when you keep doing
Hmm.
it, your body just gets used to it, and you start to like the body wants, I want more of this kind of thing. It's almost
Right.
addictive, and you're high in your own supply. That's what he says. Um,
Right.
Natural painkillers as well, but also it teaches us to be present, really present. So meditation becomes so much easier. But at the same time, it reduces cortisol levels. So tied to the endocrine system, any stress hormone stuff, because it's called eustress, not de-stress. De-stress
Yeah.
is that whole, right? Eustress is positive stress, like working out. That's eustress. Um, yeah. So take a look at what he does and take it. I don't know. I would
Okay.
combine it with several things, like that with whatever works for you, or I don't know if you do specifically. I like Iyengar yoga, which is literally slower type of yoga, and it focuses on strengthening the body in a stealthy way.
Right.
So it's very focused, and you're doing a lot more breathing. Or if you don't do that, you can do Tai Chi, you can do Qigong, whatever it is. But this one is a good um, nervous system regulator, I find.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus, you do the Kangen Mo.
Thank you.
So it's like combine those two, and you're just like, yeah, your immune system gets
Right.
better. Yeah. Especially now with the Chiron transiting your eighth house and your moon transiting your eighth house, it means that you are experiencing what I told you about, something related to the immune system as well. So pH levels are going to be affected. Um, because it's in because the moon is also in Aries here. So I don't know if you've been experiencing dryness of hair, skin, and mucous membrane, any swelling up here, um, vision sensitivity, light to light, um, itchiness, some headaches probably, insomnia, muscular activity and during sleep. I don't know what this means. Disturbed posterior pituitary. I don't know what that is. Amenorrhea. I don't know what that is. Infertility, miscarriage. That's not good part. Yeah, temper fits. That's not really medical, but kind of, probably, because it is in Aries, so it's that whole. It's a very kind of Mars feel to it. It's related to. That's why there's headaches too. So that makes sense why
Yeah.
you would get that. But again, like you said, for most of your life, it's not affecting you. The other thing I noticed though that you have transiting right now, the North Node and South Node in the polarity of Pisces and Virgo. To me, that signifies because it's in the sixth and the 12th house, means that there's something that is, I don't know. Yeah, so this shows me that you are drinking lots of liquids. This is Pisces. But there's something about um, your foot. Are you doing a lot of circulation with the foot? Are you walking a lot?
Well, walking more than what I was.
Okay, okay, okay. And then, okay, so this is tied to the immune system as well, the lymphatics, and the sympathetic involuntary nervous system. And that's the good timing right now that I mentioned Wim Hof method. The method actually helps the sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
So involuntary, of course, so that means sneezing, coughing, breathing, that kind of stuff. Okay. Um, let's see what else we have here. So there's going to be some sort of excess stuff when it comes to the immune system. There's stuff that's needs to be kind of released as well.
Okay.
Um, wondering. Hold on. Let me double check here. Okay. Okay. Little door opens the door to potentially receive access or transit. Okay. Let me see if there's anything transiting your notes. Mercury is transiting your South node. Yeah, so things to be drained out. Let's see what Mercury here is. Mercury is kind of like the circulatory system. So it's kind of like the nervous system, but not as crazy. Let's see here. Mercury. So to lower, okay, Mercury is able to change the direction and or raise or lower the vibratory rate of the electromagnetic currents moving through the nerves and cells. Okay, so it governs the speed of the neural synapses and how efficiently we receive and identify sense data through the afferent nerves. Afferent, I believe, is like the nerves in charge of like receptors, like receptor cells, I believe.
Okay.
So, okay, it's kind of like communication between the external and internal environment. So, kind of like when you receive like pain, it's like, ow, that's Mercury.
Right.
So it's less serious, easier to diagnose. Scorpio. Okay, so here we go. Because it's the Mercury is right now transiting your South node. There's things tied to the bladder, urination, itching. I'm just gonna say this: worms, colon, rectal parasites, lice, herpes. Sorry, genital warts, incontinence, spastic colon, contributing testimony of menstrual troubles, bloodworm, depression. Again, these are all based on general things like that. So, but
Right.
it is definitely the excretory system. So anything sort of releasing. So because Mercury is it's tied to that kind of stuff. So it's almost like you're sensing what needs to be released. This is important because Mercury is kind of telling you, oh, my body is looking for something else, and that's good that you're listening to that. Um, Watch out for anything that's in excess. Okay, anything that's too much. Your south node here is square Jupiter. Jupiter is usually things that are in excess. So excess type of because it's tied to Aquarius here. Um, watch out for being online too often. Step away from too much electromagnetism, right? So, and it's interesting because your Jupiter is square, it's a T square to your south and north node. That means it's kind of in conflict with that. Medically speaking, medical astrology wise, um, it's all that excess stuff. That includes like fat, consumption of food, things that are so pleasurable that it's like, oh my goodness, because like I have that going on right now. I've had that going on right now for me, I believe. Yeah, so I've been kind of eating a little bit more. So like, okay, so that's Jupiter, and that's okay. Um, so you want to kind of like again moderate things, right? So Jupiter is
Right.
kind of crazy like that because it's so pleasurable. Let's see here. Jupiter is turns Aquarius. Let's see. So varicose veins, edema of ankles, heart, any sort of it might affect the heart. I don't think it affects heart. Let's see here. Any blood disorders or toxicity in the blood? Not sure about that one. Lumbago? I don't know what that is. I think my dad has that. Disorders of the vessels of the legs, lower legs. That kind of makes sense here. But with Jupiter here sextile your Uranus here in Sagittarius, it's showing me that it's natural. You naturally work through it because your nervous system is kind of telling you, "Whoa, go do something about it." So that's good that you're actually walking more. Um, do you do any other types of uh, mobility? Like, are you moving? Is there other things that you do for mobility to keep yourself mobile?
Uh, I try to do my normal stretching and
Okay.
stuff of that nature, but because I've been so sore, um, but I think I've been sore because of the anxiety, and
Mm,
because it's been like in here, and I actually started taking moringa, and
okay.
um, I'm wondering if it has been helping.
Like the dance, right? I think it's a form of dance or something. Merengue.
No, 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 no. It's like a pill, like all natural. It's like a moringa tree or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Um, but I've been taking it, and the pain has not been intense and as intense, and that's one of the things it was supposed to help with. So
Okay. Let's see here. Blue vervain. It reduces spasm and tension in the neck. Did you say neck as well?
mhm,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. So it's kind of a sedative, anti-spasmodic, mental tension in stubborn cases of epilepsy. Not so typical of Taurus. Um, it's okay. Yeah. It helps to reduce spasm and tension. Um, because of as for the headache, it says here, both natal Taurus Sun and Moon are sometimes prone to hormonal headache and migraines related to mucus fluid congestion. Okay, that's good. You're drinking more water, so that's kind of adds more fluidity in the body. Um, Taurus is very earth. It's very dry, so it's naturally going
right,
to signify that it's like you need more water.
yeah,
Um, you also have air, a lot of air, so that makes sense. Even drier. It's almost like you've kind of gone through this whole like what do you call this? You've gone through like a what do you call it? A dry spell.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that totally makes sense because you were past lives in Scorpio. You're more used to water, so you need water again. Okay.
do you my past life in Scorpio, is that why I'm tied to a Scorpio person?
That can be. Yeah, that can be because it's very comfortable too. Even though sometimes it's like you know everything that
Oh
Scorpio
yeah,
is
it was definitely the you know a relationship for the books, but um
intense,
uh
cathartic.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But my son is a Scorpio, one of my sons
Okay.
as well.
Well,
Very different in nature, though.
okay. Yeah,
It's the
sometimes it
same.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it doesn't usually means it's the person's calls what they call sun sign. This is one of the misnomers I'd like to kind of get rid of in what is seen usually through pop astrology. Is complete bullshit. Do not listen to anything that is like, oh, I'm this sign and this. No, you are all of everything, and it just depends on what goes where, and depending on what your soul
right,
chose, the whole chart is going to define who you are. So it's
right.
not really about the whole chart itself. It's just you are multifaceted. You are divine and you are everything. Right? So you are everything and you are nothing at the same time. It's that whole
Yes,
thing. Yes, right. So um not that I'm gonna force people to be like, stop listening to pop astrology. They want if they want to, but it's not gonna be specific, it's not gonna be really helpful. It's kinda like saying, I'm just gonna take vitamin C for the rest of my life. That's gonna protect me.
yeah,
Seriously? Like exactly.
right.
Right. So
Yeah.
um okay. It says here a large detailed selection of herbal assists listed by headache type is okay, never mind. No, 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 no. It's a book, never mind. Headache-wise, might include favored candidates for Taurus headaches might include blessed thistle, chelidonium, black cohosh, rosemary, cayenne, dandelion root. Cayenne, I don't know, because you have you have two fires in there, so I feel like it's signifying that there's a little too much inflammation. You don't really need cayenne. It just makes you more nervous, I think.
Right.
You need something calming. Dandelion root, pulsatilla. I don't know what that is. Okay. So those are the kind of things related to that. I also want to mention the sweet violet. It says here traditionally specific for the upper lymphatic system. Anti-carcinogenic. That's very good. So it
Okay.
prevents cancer. Okay. Let me see. She said neck. Uh, Cleavers. It says here specific for draining fluidic pressure of the ear region. Let me see where your own Chiron is. Let me see that here. Sorry. Blind. Oh, it's Gemini. So it's the senses. It's the sort of perception, the senses, and your hands as well. There's something about the hands, arms, just right here. That's Gemini. Um, but also, yeah, the involuntary nervous system. Go back here. Usually, when it comes to, I don't need to really explain myself, but usually when it comes to readings, I'm so familiar with what I'm reading, but then so like
Mhm.
it's good. There's a lot of stuff in medical astrology that's like totally different from.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's just yeah, it's just more. Okay, okay. Hands, arms, fingers, trachea, bronchial tube, whatever. Lower esophagus, upper lobes of the lungs, scapula, clavicle, pleural with cancer, voluntary nerves, speech, hearing, and the capillaries. That makes total sense. The capillaries are basically like the nerves, right? So Wim Hof talks about that. He says with the breathing before the shower or the cold therapy, the capillaries when they're opened up, they open up when during the breathing because you're putting oxygen in your body and you bring oxygen to the head as well.
Right.
So again, that's a really good one. Um, what else did I see here? Let me go back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go into your actual birth chart and see what I get here. We're gonna start with your first house because I feel that's so important. I'm gonna do my little cheat here. Okay. If you hear cracking and all that stuff, like it's the heater, it is. It's not heater. It's
Mhm.
I'm kind of cooking something. Okay. Uh, are you okay? Are you very? Would you say you're very hygienic, like super hygienic?
Uh, I mean, with my body, yeah, I try to be.
Okay, okay, that totally makes
Yeah.
sense. Aha, especially when it's tied to your needs. You have Baldur here conjunct your moon here. So I'm gonna share the screen here again. I'm gonna switch, and this is just for the sake of the video. Okay, got it. All right. So we have Baldur retrograde. He's tied to hygiene, sprained feet, blood, bleeding disorders, exsanguination. It's just excessive bleeding. Lethal wounds. I don't think that has anything to do with yours. Okay. Sorry, not to scare you or anything. I'm just saying.
No.
Okay. Let's see. And then we have Quetzalcoatl. Let's see here. Yeah. Earlobes, calves, tongue. Bones is also one thing I meant. I think I saw that earlier. The bones. No. No, not really. That's not a big one. Okay. Electrolyte imbalance. That's probably what I'm seeing here. Oxygen therapy. So the whole Wim Hof method will be kind of like that.
Okay.
It says here hypoglycemia. Do you ever crave a lot of sugar sometimes, even though you're
Oh yeah.
stopping? Okay. Watch out for that. Maybe because if it's you're craving things that are too sweet, it means that you are, especially on a psychophysical level. I saw this one. He's a monk. He says that the reason we crave sugar is because we want comfort.
Probably. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if I can um, jump through these little asteroids and dwarf planets quickly. Let's see here. So I feel, actually, you know what? I'm going to skip to the 12th house because I feel like with the 12th house, I feel like it's something to do with what happened when you were in your mother's womb. That's usually the case. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so the heart is something that was included there because it's tied to Saturn. Double check here. Asmodeus, Antigone, Cernunnos. Other parts of the body used for sexual pleasure and sex, limps, deformity, disability, handicap conditions. No. I don't know if your mom had that. There's something about something from your grandparents' side.
Like the heart or
Yeah, there's
any
something
of it.
about that.
Oh yeah. My mother and her father.
Okay. There's also Antigone here. Sorry, one second. So if it's carried on from that line, did you see your mother and her father?
Yes.
But if it's passed on from the father, you would not have carried that because it's not passed on to you because it skips. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's right. Anything that's passed on from the Y chromosome and then passed on to the mitochondrial DNA, typically, it's not women's genes. It's more like typically through the mitochondrial DNA. Sorry, I'm getting all DNA. Sorry. It
Mhm.
doesn't get passed on to the children through the mother because it's through the grandfather. Now, if it was from your grandmother's side and then to your mother, then you would most likely pick that up. That's what I learned. Don't quote me on this. Again, this is what
Okay.
this is what I've heard. Okay. Um, Antigone here is also something to do with again hands and feet, so probably something to do with that as well. Could be hereditary. Let me see if it's retrograde. I would say also because we have Saturn here in retrograde. Saturn retrograde often represents like a different sort of effect to it. So there's a kind of a focus in terms of that energy, or rather the intention of the soul to have learned it, to wanting to learn this. So here there's a lot of lessons tied to uh, what you value. Your Saturn here is trying to Venus retrograde. So, you there's a lot of what is this one here? It's almost like because I don't know if you had strict relationships with your, or rather unconventional, but sort of non. It's almost like you had a non-standard relationship with your siblings, um, and also the neighbors, and also your immediate environment as well. So it also tied to Venus here, so that means that whatever you value, um, typically here it's showing me that it is that even right? 2060 to Venus, it means that your values come from really kind of being in control. There's kind of being in control situations. So that's one of the struggles that you have. It affects you at that's because it's in Scorpio here, Saturn in Scorpio, retrograde. It's it's affecting your lower body regions, specifically the excretory system, your the what do you call that? It's still digestive system, like the colon, the anus, the rectum, lower down there. Chakra wise, it's
Mhm.
still kind of there. So if you have,
Right.
you've probably been doing a lot of also chakra work in the lower regions, the lower chakras. Yes, that's very good. Even down to the earth chakra. Like there's several
Yes.
chakras actually in between that, the minor chakras, like that. Um, that could be something that you've been doing. Um, but because it is Saturn, I feel like it's, even though it's retrograde, there's a kind of, I noticed there when I was reading this, the Antigone here, it's almost like you have some kind of delay when it comes to the excretory system. Toxins from your body start to release. So later in life, you started. This totally makes sense why you're like now focusing more on it, because it's like, oh, I need to pay attention to it because the body's going ding
Right.
ding 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 ding. Listen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Let's see here. So hands and feet, neck area, that totally makes sense. But it's still connected to the backbone and spine, and also circulation. Make sure that you have circulation. You know this already. Um, I don't know if Maynard's is a thing here, but again, because this is your birth chart, I don't think this applies to you. Like you only have your sun. It's not only in your eighth house. Because we talk about the big stuff, like the big main planets in astrology. They usually signify that that's the medically speaking, or in medical astrology wise, it is the focus. But it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get what I just mentioned. But it also doesn't mean that you're gonna get those. I'm just saying
Right.
it's less of a possibility. Right. Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I just saw emptiness, empty stomach, or something like that. Empty. I don't know what that is. Probably will go back into that one. Okay. So here. Ah. You probably also ingested, like for your mom's, like in vitro. You probably ingested certain things. Is it retrograde? I'm not sure if Cernunnos is retrograde. I'm just gonna read it. Unexpected, random, or unusual things removed from the body. This totally makes sense. Detox. The dieting, so to speak. That could also be kind of like fasting. Um, regurgitation. This is extreme. I'm not sure if you've ever tried Epicac, but apparently it's extreme. So, let's see here. It is okay. Again, same thing with the bones. So anything to do with cavities and cavities like in teeth, and also cavities of the body, like the oral cavity, dorsal cavity, cranial cavity, spinal, ventral, vertebral, pleural, I don't know how to pronounce that, thoracic cavity, pericardial cavity, abdominal cavity, pelvic cavity. Any places where there's space, kind of like that's cavity. Um, wisdom teeth, I don't think that's anything to do with that. Organs deemed useless. Pyramidalis muscles, I don't know what that is.
Sorry if my dog is dreaming, if you hear that.
That's okay. um, yeah, I know. That also explains the energy that you have in your household. Um, I'm very familiar with the Uranus energy, but it's retrograde for you. So the usually Uranus represents unexpected things, but because it's retrograde, yours is kind of like every now and then it'll happen, but it's not necessarily unexpected. So I can see why that might happen. So, if do you ever um, do you sometimes feel a twitch, or kind of a sort of, I don't think for you it's visceral, but when you pick up on things through like electromagnetic fields, like with the nervous system. Do you sometimes feel like you feel it in your hand and your arms? Like,
Yes, and I also have like a weird computer crashing, like systems start to fail.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
like it's very weird. It happened at the gas station just the other day. It happened at Home Depot just the other
Yep.
day.
Hmm.
I've had customer service agents tell me I need to wear a crystal around my neck because because it's but so yeah, it's some weird.
Okay. Are you wearing shungite and any of that EMF reducing sort of stuff?
No, but I need to.
Okay, so there's three or four gemstones that work with that. Shungite is the number one. That's like everybody talks about that. There's also garnet. It's the
Okay.
birthstone of Capricorn. One of the birthstones. Garnet, or maybe a specific type of garnet. Look, and then there's also lepidolite. It's kind of purpley. L E
Hmm.
P lepidol Lepidolite. So that also reduces EMF. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what was I saying here? It says auricular muscles or pinna. I think that's something to do with the eyes. Not sure. Tailbone. I don't know if you've ever had something like that. The tailbone. Again, these are things that are brought in through your mother's line, or rather, when you not mother's line. Sorry, when you were in vitro. Um, let's see here. Did you have a twin?
No.
Oh, sorry, something
Mhm.
happened there. Ah, goodness sakes. Okay. Okay, well, still recording. That's okay. No twin. Okay, that's fine.
No.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Let's see what else we get here. Okay, Cernunnos. Okay, okay. Let's see here. There's something to do with the neck as well. That's Cernunnos. He's tied to the neck. Um, uh, let's see. I already did that. Tezcatlipoca. Okay. He is okay. Something about the blood again. There's something about blood conditions. I don't know if something was happening in your mother's room.
My mother had a blood condition,
Okay. So okay. Could be like blood
like a blood
impurities.
clotting.
Okay.
Yeah.
White blood cells. Okay. Cool. Bones is also again here. So the bones, your skull, your feet. The feet, I would probably feel it's. I'm not sure if it's hereditary because I didn't see that here. I saw Pisces here. There's part of it. There's something about the sixth house. If that's the case, it could be like let me double check here. Kalliope. Your eardrums. Interesting. Oh, numbness in the feet sometimes. You ever get numbness?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Uh, so that's something that's I would say probably tied to mother. I'm not sure. I'll double check that here. Go back here. Yeah, so that means if it's numb, that means that there's not a lot of blood flow. Right? So um, that's good. Yeah, keep doing the walks and the stretching. When you're doing stretching, are you doing static stretching or dynamic stretching?
Really just anything to
Okay. When do you do your stretching?
in the morning.
Okay, so that's when the it's cold. You don't want to do static stretching in that case. You want to do dynamic stretching. Because I mean, when I was in a swim team, even my coaches would say, you don't have to necessarily do dynamic stretching before you swim. It's better to do such a stretching after because you're already warmed up after the swimming after training. But I still did it before, but I would never do static before because it's cold. Your nerves are cold. You don't want to do that. There's this other
Right.
program. If you want to look it up, it's up to you. It's called Moves Method. They have this wonderful program. They're actually having a sale right now. It's like instead of the $3,000 it usually costs, it's like 247 right now. I think that's USD. I'm Canadian, so uh, much more expensive. Um, so what that does is what the program does. I feel like the program is so good because they follow this person. She's Australian. I think she's with her husband or something that does this program. They discovered this program that they made this program that's based off of old, I guess you can say traditional ways of movement. It's not yoga. It's not any of that stuff. Just basic movements where you're actually moving every part of your body as if it's like part of your routine, like picking things up, crawling. Uh, you know, it's not really about stretching. So,
Right.
at the very least, look at the YouTube channel Moves Method. They have a channel Moves
Okay.
Method. Okay. Um, it's up to you. I think that's a good one. Okay, then let's go to the next one here. Okay, marking. Okay, so just ask the dwarf planet called Makemake, front loaders. Okay, no, the five senses. I feel like with because because of the Virgo placement here with Leo. Call this. There's a lot of I don't know if it's tied to your south node or something. There's a kind of like a lot of restriction down the line, but it's also the neighbors that you've been living in because it's square. These asteroids are square your Saturn, and it's in the third house. That usually means the immediate environment, neighbors. Um, is that muck right there? Let's check here. Oh, 28 degrees, Leo. Something there. I haven't seen it yet. Um, yeah, something about the five senses. Your um, and what that usually means is that because of your sensitivity to the environment, like your senses, it's that's again going back to the whole nervous system. That's it's good to work on that as well. So I'm just repeating kind
Okay.
of some things here, so you get it. Okay, let's see what else. Aphrodite. Was there any sort of I don't want to say this, but was there any sort of birth control? Was your mom on birth control or menstrual cycles? You said bleeding, right? There was like blood disorder.
She had a blood disorder, but she always had problems with her reproduct, like her girl
Okay,
stuff.
okay, that's right. Yeah, fertility it says here as well. Um, okay, and then Helio. One second here. So remember we talked about the nervous system. How I said that um, the nervous system can is one of the biggest things we kind of take for granted as humans.
Yes.
Because for me, when I sense things, mine's on a very visceral level. It's literally down the gut, like right here in the stomach area, down there. When I hear things, especially loud sounds, not I'm used to it though. I've learned to regulate that now. But typically, even before, what would happen is like it's I'm not conscious of it. I'm unconscious of what those mean. So I've had to do a lot of also. I don't know if you do shadow work or if you do. Um, the shadow work helps you also on the physical level, where it's not just psychosomatic, but it is also an acknowledgement of what benefits there is to, say, for example, loud sounds. Like, why are there loud
Right.
sounds, right? Because sometimes we think of loud sounds as like anger. We see, because for me, I mean, at least for me, that's how I see it. Like, I can tell when people are, through their actions, like when they drop things, I can sense that they're either fatigued, they just don't care. Like, there's something there. There's something psychologically to going like it's connected to the psyche's if it experiences trauma, so it becomes kind of apathetic. So that's the other thing about that, right? So, which actually ties into the whole like why you feel numbness there. When you feel numbness,
Hmm.
numbness is often a sign of it's almost tied to apathy. Not that you're apathetic. I'm just saying because of we went through the pandemic and when we're going through all these trauma, especially for you, you have Virgo in your ascendant. You're just like Virgo doesn't. Virgo's one of Virgo's fear is literally being infected. Yes.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I have Virgo placements too, so I'm just like, yeah, I was extreme during
Yeah.
the pandemic, very extreme. I isolated, I washed
Yeah.
everything, just like and just no, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can understand. So totally fine. Um. Okay, let's keep going here. Sappho. Okay, that's there's something about the X chromosome, which I believe is the is it XY and the X what was it XX and XY? Something of the
I'm not
male.
sure.
There's something about the male side, which makes sense. Kind of. There's something about that. It's something about genes here. Um, I feel like it's tied to that. Oh, and it says here prefrontal cortex, which is similar to the frontal cortex. So not only with the nervous system, we talked about how regulating that is good, but do you is your brain stimulated before going to bed? Do you watch things,
Yes.
etc.? Okay,
Well, I just, yeah, I play on my phone.
okay. And this is not so much an advice; it's more like, for me, what I would do if I were in your place, I would reduce that before going to bed. An hour before bed, I would that's the minimum. I would say not do any of that stuff. Not anything, especially if it's stimulating like the news. Holy crap. You don't watch any of
Yeah.
that stuff. Even certain
Oh,
videos.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I would start going into something that's calmer. Um, but even then during the day, during the whole day, I would still kind of I stop watching the news. When people bring up news, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. And that's good.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss in this case, right?
Right.
So, but also before you go to bed, um, you can cover your eyes. Make sure it's completely like black, like pitch black. Okay. The other thing is, what do you call this? Well, at least what I do is, what's this one? When it comes to, sorry, when it comes to sleep cycles, because I feel like
Hmm.
we need to. I feel like one of because your eighth house is tied to Aries, which signifies um, the adrenal glands, adrenal suprarenal glands. So it's something to do with the cortisol levels. To reduce all that stuff, that stress in the body, um, what I do is also focus on my sleep cycles. I've made it a habit where I follow 1.5 cycles of sleep, so that I actually go into REM sleep. So that
Okay.
way the body, so the immune system has the way to function, plus the muscles and the blood, everything functions naturally when you go into REM sleep. I feel strongly about that. Um, right? So because when we go into the subconscious, we actually process things more. If we didn't dream, we would be dead.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 1.5 hours. So that means if I want to wake up at 6, that means I should literally be asleep, not just in bed, asleep. For me, minimum 6 hours, absolute minimum. Or I make it 7.5 or 9. You see how it's cycles of 1.5 hours?
Yes.
There's an actual app for that. I forgot what it's called. Like sleep cycles. It records it for you. But I've made it into a habit. Again, it's really about habits, right? So that's one thing. Okay. And then Mnemosyne. Oh, Mnemosyne is something about memory. So that means that you carried things physically from your mom's side. Or, I'm sorry, not mom. I keep mom saying mom's. When you were in vitro, sorry. Um, So it is, again, the five senses are coming up here again, the prefrontal cortex. And the reason I mentioned the whole thing about stimulus is because your prefrontal cortex is included here. Most likely when you're probably in your mom's womb, the nervous system was it's kind of part of your lineage. Like I don't know if it's been passed on through again through your mom's side, but not um, mainly through your mom's side, but I would say both. Um, that prefrontal cortex is showing me that it's like it needs to be less stimulated, and that's this prefrontal cortex. This is where it lights up when we are in sort of fight or flight mode. I believe it's like kind of like
Right.
yeah. Okay, and there's the last one here. What is that one? Lancelot. Okay, it's repeating itself. Immune system is again part of this one. There's something about the immune system as well. The white blood cells. I feel like they're tied. Um, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. The rest are I find very technical. There's something part of the brain. Um, I don't think that applies here, but the immune system and the blood cells. So again, we basically confirm that a lot of that's tied to that, to what I said earlier about the blood cells your mom's when she had blood issues. So it's
Yeah.
passed on to you. So I would look into your eighth house because I feel that they're linked. Actually, I'm going to go into Thetis first. So Thetis, I believe, is like foreign substances. Let me double check here. No, it is adaptation, evolution. Your genes. Okay, there you go. So it is gene related. Um, Anatomical, physical development when you're born. Organogenesis. Uh, the development of organs when you're born in the gestation period. So again, it's tied to that, right? Mitosis, it's still part of the same thing. Growth hormones. I don't know if you've ever talked about growth hormones with your doctor or family doctor.
No.
No? Hmm. Let's look at Orpheus here. You don't get insomnia, do you? Or have you experienced some of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, like I can fall asleep, but I wake up and then I toss and turn all night.
Okay. Let's see here. So do you take any? Let me double check. So I don't have anything for insomnia here. Let me look up. Let me see if I can find one for insomnia. So multivitamins is really good too. Specifically D, B3, B6, B9, B12, C, E, A, and K. Magnesium also.
Yes.
Melatonin is a common one. But again, multivitamins is probably the best, and more natural things like from fruit. Um, 1 second. We have here Lempo. Okay, let's keep going. 1 second here. Hormones. Do you feel like
They've always been okay
okay?
so far.
So okay, okay, that's fine. So there's a reason usually for why they're shifting in the first place. Because your body goes through a lot of like shifting. Like it's I see here the sixth house is ruled by Aquarius. Um, Again, I think it's okay to have everything you're surrounded by, like whatever stimulates. But I think there needs to be a balance. But I feel like because of your North Node in Taurus, that signifies you need more of actual things that will calm you down rather than the opposite. Because I know your moon in Gemini it's a very active sign as well, and with your past lives, very like a lot of that trauma related stuff. The it's very like it's a very deep. What is the word I'm looking for? Like deep seated things, right? There could be a lot of deep seated issues from the past. Um, so again, yeah, we talked already about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, we have here the asteroid Cassandra. Do you ever feel like some when people you've talked to about things that you believe in? I'm just being general here, like your beliefs. Do they kind of like dismiss it? You don't feel like you're. I think
Yeah.
it's something to do with your siblings, neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's part of the healing as well. I feel like a lot of your healing is tied to the subconscious, unconscious, and also more psychological. Um, so yeah. So even though what are you doing with that? Like in terms of if people don't hear you, they don't listen to you. I mean,
Well, it really, I don't talk to that many people anymore. So,
okay, that's fine.
and well, I guess the people have changed. I went from being a 10-year stay-at-home mom to a substitute teacher.
Mm,
So, um, I still don't talk to them much about my beliefs, but you know, um, just I don't really talk anymore about it.
okay.
But I do feel dismissed sometimes more by my sibling. If anybody thinks I'm crazy, it's him
Mm-hmm.
as far as my beliefs go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because sometimes what happens is that with your moon in Gemini, there's a tendency for Gemini to analyze things, analysis paralysis, right? Um, you need more water. You need to go get in more touch with water. You need to get in touch with your emotions. Shadow work is very helpful, and that'll,
Yes.
right? Because it sets in your body. It's like trauma. Trauma is basically unresolved shock. That's what it is. It's like going like you get people somebody slaps you in the face or somebody does something or your leg gets bitten off and you're just like you just stand there. It
Right.
sits. And we do that a lot as humans too, right? So, um, so really, um, yes, it is releasing. So it's both releasing and also training the nervous system to be used to that kind of stress. That's why eustress is very good, not de-stress. Right.
Right.
So you said you work at home now. Are you working from home?
No, I'm a substitute teacher.
Also, you can't work from. Oh, so you actually go in.
I was at home for 10 years.
Okay, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, that's a kind of good thing, but You teach young children, like you're elementary school
Yeah.
teacher? Okay, I'm high
Yes.
school. Um,
Oh,
I
really?
don't do it in person because I realize my mentor, my professor mentor, told me she sensed it. She was right. She said, "I feel like you're more of like a one-on-one kind of teacher." And it's like back then I was just like, "So you're saying I can't do this job?" But she's right. She was right. It was like, yeah, it worked better one-on-one. Groups kind of make me kind of like, you pick up everybody's energy. Also, I just kind
Yeah.
of like.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah. No.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see here. Something about Klio. That's tied to history. There's something about history of what is this one here? Toxins. 3 degrees Scorpio. Any sort of dry skin. Not part of it. Not any
Yes.
dandruff. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cysts. Watch out for those cysts. I'm not saying you wait for that to happen, but like I said, remember we talked about the whole excess thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cysts is they develop from that. Like tumors develop from too much of anything. Um, which is a good thing. Is I mean I became vegan gradually because my body was looking for it, and I stopped swimming because I have Meniere's disease. I get dizzy. Then I also have gout, so I can see why it's like okay, so it's
Yeah.
good to be mindful of what we do now instead of the way it was before. I was just like, I'm just gonna go to the restaurant. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. But
Right.
there's joy to be had to in creating your own dish that's meant for you, right?
Yeah. Energetically eating. Yes.
Yes, right, exactly, right. So yeah, I tell my parents, I say, I usually eat for health now. Actually, I eat
Yeah.
for health. So yeah. Let's see here. I also have Vulcano here. Sounds like volcano, which is correct. So it's about inflammations. The fetus also tied to this. We already talked about that. Um, let's see here. So mobility of the legs and limbs, of course. Organ transplant, organ replacements, body replacement, prosthetics. I feel like that's tied to your because it's tied to Clio. I feel like it's tied to the past. It's a karmic thing because Pluto can be also karmic. Hmm. I'm not sure what it says here. I'm not looking. I'm not seeing the other asteroids, so I feel like there's something about Calliope, past life stuff. Something about the voice in your past. Something happened with your voice. Something happened with nervousness, being able to speak out.
Oh. So could that be affecting me now?
I would say yeah, in a way. This is why your soul chose to have this place, this time when you were born. Your moon in Gemini shows that you are able to express your emotions. Even though sometimes it goes into analysis paralysis, it can be more about expressing your emotions. And with your stubborn, having boundaries with the sun, your wants and what you feel is right for you, what's right for your heart, is like, no, this is right for me. That's fine. So it's kind of balancing both, right? So yeah, I would totally get that. Right? You're here to create more boundaries instead of just having death-defying catharsis in the past. You were such a
Right.
risk taker in the past. Now it's more like, no, I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
yeah. So on a karmic level, your soul chose to be like, I think I've had enough of that. I think I'm gonna try keeping things simple, working with the earth as well. So, earth and water are your balancing elements, right? So it's good that you're going inwards too, because it's earth and water. It's inwards, rather than air,
Okay.
fire. It's out there. Um, Which I would say, does you feel because your midheaven is in Gemini, your nadir is in Sagittarius. That needs to be balanced, especially with Uranus there in your nadir. It's showing me that it's because you grew up with this sort of like unconventional. I would say not unconventional. It was almost like you had this like role in your family that you like just kind of. I guess I don't know if you grew up in a very religious family. Very
Uh, not towards me, but
yeah.
the generations right before me.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Okay, yeah, and they were kind of, but because of the retrogrades, Neptune here showing me that there's some sort of reality that they had to face. That's why it kind of changed through you. How tying this to your nadir to your midheaven is that when, as a teacher, you probably apply a lot of what you've learned, which is like so when you're substitute. It's a good thing you're substitute teaching because that means if you're 24/7 being exaggerative, an actual having a class, your own class, it's almost like it could be kind of draining, right? It's not.
Right. Well, see, I'm a permanent sub, so I go every day, but my
Ah,
classes change.
so you got a
So
variety of things. Okay,
yes,
okay, okay,
like one day I could be the PE teacher. One day today I was fifth grade.
okay. So
Yeah.
okay, so have you ever noticed a change in your behavior and your approach to your teaching to the children? Because especially if they're like they get hyper, there's you have to apply classroom management skills, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I can't. I That's why I'm one-on-one kind of thing, right? But okay, okay, yeah. Let's see what else did I get here. Oh, the last asteroid here is the asteroid Hell, which is
Hmm.
exactly what it sounds like. She was the goddess of really misunderstood goddess. She was deformed. Half of her body was in Norse mythology. Half of her body was deformed. The other one was beautiful. So she
Okay.
represents transitions, transformations, which makes sense why you're going through this right. Like you're in your path right now. Um, Inherited traits. See right here. Inherited traits. Nature and natural tendencies or traits. Blood is coming up again. The physical body, of course. Acute pain. Um, do you sometimes have? Do you feel like you heal slowly?
No.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. There's a bunch of stuff here. Comorbidity or multimorbidity. There's something about that. I forgot what that means. Carson Comorbidity Index or CCI. General illness, old age, comatose, defecation, umbilical cord. I feel like it's really about the toxins, not any of those things. Sorry, I'm just reading it out.
Right.
Yeah, so it is releasing of toxins, but water is very good. And you said you try to drink Kangen water. There's a Korean version apparently of Kangen. I forgot what it's called. It's called- and it's actually cheaper, but it filters the water. It removes any sort of you know unnecessary things in it, toxins and all that stuff, and then remineralizes the water. Right. I think the
Uh-huh.
Korean version does the same thing. Again, I forgot what it's called. Or maybe there's several ones now. I don't know. You never know. Kangen's been around for decades, so
Right.
yeah, so that's good. Um, the whole snacking thing. Let's see where your moon has progressed into now. I want to see your progression chart as of December 1, 2025. Where has your moon got into? Ah, okay. Sagittarius conjunct Uranus. Ah, okay. Conjunct Uranus. Okay. Uh, what is moon in Sagittarius? Uh, So you're open to foreign foods now, aren't you? You like
Yes.
different tastes. Okay, cool. But not necessarily spicy, right? Some,
So I don't do as spicy as what I used to.
Okay. So there you go. So it has changed. Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense. It's actually opposite your actual natal moon. So what does that signify? In terms of your eating habits, um, it's still snacking.
Mhm.
But let's see where your Mercury is here. I want to see where your Mercury is. Okay. Oh, your Mercury is in Gemini again. It's progressed into Gemini, so that means it's still snacking. That's why. Okay. Well, your moon's gonna move in about let's see here, about in approximately 10 years. It's gonna go into Capricorn. You'll be pickier with what you eat, just a little bit. It's still gonna be snacking, but pickier snacking. Okay. Maybe have you ever thought? I don't know if you've come across food that is, even though it's for snacks, it's like really nutritious and like full of, minerals, vitamins, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. Okay. Cool. So what about those? What do you call those? Like shakes, like not protein shakes, but kind of like where you have everything in it. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Although watch out for what do you call that? Sorry, lost my train of thought. I don't speak English. Um,
Mhm.
um, like not processed, like juicing. Don't watch out for
Yes.
juicing. That puts more sugar in your body. Unless you
Right.
are actually hypoglycemic, like we read earlier, then you probably need a bit of sugar, but you need fiber as well because fiber helps with that whole, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and one
Really.
last thing. Since we're talking about fruit, because you're talking about toxins and all that stuff, I discovered this about 20 years ago. I don't eat fruit after a meal, especially if it's heavy like carbs and meat. I don't eat meat anymore. But still, if it's heavy, you don't eat fruit after because fruit is the easiest to digest. Do you know about this?
No.
Okay. So, fruit, because it's the easiest to digest, what happens is when it sits on top of other types of, uh, like carbs and vegetables or meat, what happens is that it turns it into acid.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
raises the acidity of your body, and your eighth house has it's in the cusp of your eighth house is in Aries. That's pH balance between Aries and Libra. So I think it's still important. So if you want to help with digestion, don't eat fruit after. Not right away. Wait about 2 hours,
Okay.
more or less. Because it makes sense, right? Why would you eat fruit?
Right.
Because we've been taught that,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been taught that fruits are like, oh, they're like desserts because they're sweet. Yes, but where do desserts come from? The concept of desserts, where did they come from? I would
Right.
say it came from a French thing. It's like, why? Eat it before. Or wait hours and then you eat it again. Like a snack. Treat it like a snack. And
Right.
it's always better to eat the fruit right away. Like, I mean, eat the fruit as it is, um, because of the fibers in there. And so instead of juicing it, then you just get rid of the fibers, and all you're getting is
Exactly. Yeah.
more sugar. And, well, yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay. Um, okay, I just thought I'd add that in. And I think that's about it. How are we for time? How are you for time?
Oh, we're about an hour and a half in.
No, but like, do you want to know some more? I mean, do you have any more questions? What do you,
Oh, I'm okay. I have a couple minutes.
okay, okay, cool. So, okay, I'm going to stop presenting. So, uh, so no questions, there's not a lot of issues at all, really, but again, it's more psychological.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about the moon thing there. Watch out for your vitality, what you go into. Um, uh, there's something else that I. Oh, okay. Uh, I'm sorry that the reading was not as cathartic as you usually have it.
No. Mhm.
That's one of your learning styles. You actually, I don't know if I would say it's changed over time naturally, but typically it's still very like strong, like right? Am I right? You like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, um, I think that's it. I've said kind of what I need to say. I think there are the other parts there, but I feel like I don't want to read too much. It's gonna repeat a lot of the stuff. So a lot of it was blood related, immune system, nervous system, sometimes the skin, dryness. So water would be your thing. Water and earth. So balancing the two, plus the other things I mentioned earlier about eating fruit first, or don't wait a few hours till you, if you have that, don't treat it as dessert. It's not really good. That's what I do. Again, I'm not giving you medical
Right.
advice. I'm just saying from my experience, it's helped me.
Right.
Test it out first, and also consult your physician, your family doctor, whoever it is, or a medical professional. Um, and yeah, see what they say. I like what your doctor said though. It's like something more natural, so that's good.
Yeah.
Instead of here's some medicine, here the
Yeah.
pills. That's good.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to get those.
Yeah. On the counter stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. Do you have a homeopathic or like even besides the Wim Hof method? Do you have? Are you? Have you ever been? Sorry, for some reason I'm being told to give you something homeopathic or like what do you call that? Acupressure.
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
No, but I would love to. I would love to do it.
Okay, there's something about that because I feel like because it's psychosomatic as well. A lot of the stuff you go through is psychosomatic. Not everything. A lot of the stuff you really inherited, right? Um, Especially with the
Yeah.
nervous system, that's a huge one. Nervous system is a big one because I noticed it was like, oh, it's in your fourth house. Like, okay, that's nervous system stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, what else? I think that's it. That does this help? I hope it helps.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Yes.
I hope. Okay. Well, if you have any more questions, thank you for also allowing me to practice. It's not really about practice. I do want to help. Okay. So, yeah. But I think that's it. If you don't have any more questions, um, I think that's it. Yeah, so immune system. Okay. So, how are you feeling right now, though?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now, its immune system is an important part right now, as at least for the next.
Which I can see why it's playing in because I did just get over being sick, and I don't ever get sick.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah, like I don't ever.
okay.
And I'm the one that can man the whole household while everybody's sick and still not get sick.
Superwoman.
But then over this past holiday, I did. I caught it. So yeah, I need to strengthen it.
Do you log? Do you take logs, or do you? Not that that would do anything, but do you kind of track your not everything like what you eat, kind of not track it per se like every single day, but kind of make it a habit. 'Cause I used to do that.
No,
No,
though.
okay. I used to. I still measure my sodium because I have to. Not that I have to, but it's become so normal. Just like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's just measuring it, whatever. So I
Right.
follow that. So that's what I mean by logging or like tracking it, not obsessively, just enough so that it becomes
Right.
a habit. So okay. Um, did I make it clear about the moon? The moon won't last long. The moon always goes everywhere. It's a transit, so it's
Yeah.
gonna fluctuate. Um, but right now, yeah, Chiron is it's tied to the immune system. So that means that it doesn't mean that you stay away from people, but at the same time, um, yeah, the Wim Hof method will help with a lot of this because it teaches you to also be in the present moments. So instead of, because I know you're a mother and I don't know what it's like to be a mother or being a parent.
Mhm.
You're a double parent. You're like a mother and a teacher, right?
Yes.
So um, you obviously I've learned. I feel like you've learned how to share your energy or what to do with that. So which actually will also helps you. So, but yeah, with the Wim Hof method, you also get to know that more. It also, by the way, the cold therapy, the more you do it, especially if it goes colder, it enhances psychic abilities.
Oh, okay.
So let you know.
That's good to know.
That's what happened to me. So it could work for you. I'm just saying could, but
Right.
okay. I think that's it. If you have any more questions, let me know. I think that's it for now. Thank you so much, and I hope it
Yeah.
helps.
Thank you.
Okay.
It does, and I appreciate your time. Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
yours as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. If you
Bye.
have any questions, bye. All right. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Um, if you have any questions, let me know. Comments and questions down below. I'd like to really communicate and actually connect. That would be helpful. I am just also a heads up. I am planning on opening up some kind of probably like a class or something like that for those who are interested. We'll see where that goes. For now, I'm still doing some of the. I'm still gathering information in terms of how I would do that. But just a heads up. So just keep that. I'll keep you updated. I will be posting more videos on readings. Looking to do some more readings on things that I want to go into. So it's a heavy time, like right now. Not necessarily for me, but I'll do my best to help you guys. Thank you for being patient as well. Thank you for doing all these things. I appreciate everyone for just hanging in there as well, and for doing the best they can with the tools they know, to as we all go together and go into the direction of expansion. But at the same time, living your best dream, your best life as best as you can. It's from the heart, and this is part of the whole process. So thank you. I appreciate that. Do please like and subscribe to the video. Do please like the video. Give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you're not new to, if you're new to this channel. Not good to hear from you. I will see you guys later though. And that's it. Sorry, a little bit downer today. Sorry about the energy, but I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching again. Have a good one. Bye.